So today we'll be talking about moment distribution method. It was discovered by Hardy Cross in 1930. It's used to analyze beams in frames. It's a mathematical approach where he uses successive approximations that can be carried out to any degree of accuracy. The process is repetitive and easy compared to other structural analysis methods, and it finds itself in computer applications of structural analysis. The assumption is that every joint in a structure is fixed. And the definitions: first, sign convention, all clockwise moments of the member is considered positive, anti-clockwise is considered to be negative. Fixed end moments is when a span of a beam is loaded, the moments that are generated at the ends is considered to be fixed end moments. Stiffness factor of a member is the moment required for that span to get a unit radian rotation at one end. When a lot of members are connected at one joint, then the sum of all those stiffness factors will give you the joint stiffness factor. Then it's the distribution factor, so it will give you the division of how a member will resist the total resisting movement. The sum of all the distribution factors at a joint will be 1. The method involves 4 steps. Step 1 is distribution factor table. Step 2 is when you calculate the fixed end moments. Step 3 is moment distribution table, and step 4 is drawing the BMD. So before starting the process, you really need to know all these formulas. So this is a UDL loaded. This is a UDL. The MAB will be minus WL squared by 12 because here it will be anti-clockwise. So it will be like this. It will be anti-clockwise, and here it will be clockwise. So you will take it positive. Similarly, in these two conditions, there is a concentrated load. You will have minus WL by 8 and WL by 8 and this formula. These are for the bending moment formulas. This is the maximum bending moment at the midspan. So you will have a BMD like this. So here it will be WL squared by 8. Here similarly it will be WL by 4 and WAB by L. So this is the problem. It basically is a continuous beam with 2 overhangs. AE is the overhang part with a point load 10 kN, and DF is a overhang with a uniform distributed load of 4 kN. The material properties of these spans are different, so you can see in 2I, I and I. Going to the first step, it involves the distribution table. For that you need to know relative stiffness of that member, and then you have to know effective stiffness at the joint and distribution factor. So if the far end is hinged, K will be taken by 3 by 4 I by L, and if the far end is fixed, it will be considered as I by L. So in the problem we have 2 joints, that is B and C. So at B you will have 2 members connected, BA and BC. So the far end is hinged, so you consider 3 by 4 to I by L. So L is 6 and the I is 2I. So you will get I by 4. At BC the far end is fixed, so you use I by 4, and then you summate all of this, you will get I by 2. The distribution factors will be half and half. At C again you have two members, BC and CD. The CB is fixed, so you use I by 4, and CD is hinged, so you use 3I into I by 3. That will give you I by 4 again. Similarly you will get 1 by 2, 1 by 2. Step 2 will be fixed end moments. At MAE, the overhang part, there will be a clockwise moment generated here, that is 10 into 1.2, the span of AE, you will get 12 kilonewton, and for MAB it will be using those formulas, you will get minus 20 kilonewton anti-clockwise and 40 kilonewton at BA, that is MBA. Going to the other span BC, again it's a point load at center span, so you will have minus WL by 8, that will again be minus 30 into 4 by 8, you will get minus 15 at B, and at C you will get again 15 kilonewton. Similarly for CD, using the formula you will get minus 6 kilonewton and positive 6 kilonewton. So regarding the overhanging part DF, this will again generate an anti-clockwise movement that will be equal to W that is 4 into 1.5 the span into half of that will give you minus 4.5 kilonewton. So that will be taken negative because it's anti-clockwise. Finally the moment distribution table. So based on the moments we calculated in the previous slides, we will all write down the first row, and the remark column will be as FEM. Since it's a known fact that the hinged moments cannot carry moment, there will be balancing of moments, so that is why you'll have plus 8 and you will have minus 15, and then you carry over according to the moment distribution method half of the load, so you'll get minus 0.75 and plus 4. After this you go to the next step where you calculate the summation of the rows, and then you'll get new fixed end moments where you'll find all these new values. From here you'll start the Hardy-Cross method where you calculate the effective of these two, that is 44 and minus 15, and then according to the distribution factor you divide half to either sides, that will be minus 14 and minus 14. At C again you'll have two distribution factors, that will be 15 and minus 6.5, again you'll distribute to minus 4.3 and 4.3. The process is continued until you make the moments at the hinges close to 0, and after this you'll carry over and then calculate the final moments. The final moments is basically the summation of the entire column. You'll get at B you'll get 29.64 minus 29.64, 7.28 and minus 7.28. So after these values it will be noted down into a table, and then finally the step 4 includes the BMD. So at A you have 12 as calculated, at B you have 29.64, at C you have 7.28, and at D you have 4.5, and then you plot the values, plot the BMD for the loading conditions on the beam. So as it was a point load, you'll get maximum point load to be 36.24, at BC you'll get 11.24, and then at CD you'll get 6.11, and finally you'll shade accordingly because there is a minus 12 moment here. You'll shade this part, and then you go on shading the alternative parts where you get the final diagram, something like this, and you finish the problem. Thank you.